Here we are. Quarterfinals open action. Excuse us as we get into this one. 1-0 lead. Elliot Bonneau scored the first goal for 33 Tours, the team from Bordeaux. 33 Tours in English, of course, but this is an all-French quarterfinal. I'm Stef Pazzo here with Benji Reese, and we will get to him in a moment, but we're right into the action here. Friselis, the team from Versailles, hitting it out against their cross-nation compatriots from the wine region of Bordeaux. There's Prior Martin, says to Guilou. And now on to number 20 for Friselis.
It's going to be a stoppage here. I think there was a pick on that scoring throw. So I wonder if this might go back into the hands of Johan Michotet here.
Here it is again, another look, inside break. Lièvre on the reception, but there is a grand discussion about that. The discussion continues. C'est vous qui décidez is what I heard. It's you who decides. And they decide it's a goal. In the end, that's one apiece. Early stages. Benji, we're all caught up getting from one game to the next because that last game was another cracker.
It was indeed.
And that's 2 in a row now. I expect nothing less than that as we move throughout this tournament now.
Yeah, no pressure or anything.
Yeah, jeez, I mean, but we've seen it happen. EBUCC has the potential to make these miracles happen. We'll talk a little bit about how these two teams have gone throughout the tournament as we get our breath back and we get just a little bit more time between points. But for now, it's one apiece. Bonnet, the first goal scorer. Lièvre, the counter score for Friselis.
So you'll have some more familiarity with these teams than I will.
Yeah, I mean, I've coached one on each team here, had some association with more than a few on each team. The man putting his hand up there, Cyril Kela, one of the members of Force Ultimate.
I was going to say, who have kindly partnered with ULTI.TV for your wonderful swag, which you can buy on the Force website, by the way, if you want to become a part of the team.
Go and get some of that, outfit yourselves, and make it happen. That one, Simone Ruel, the great young player from Blois originally, but has been all over now to Kela. Goes underneath, that's Moirier, and back around Kela. The underneath, that one shot in for goal, and everyone gets a touch. It's Salat with the goal. And we're on serve, clean holds, and nothing but.
I mean, that wasn't, not only was that a clean hold in the sense they didn't turn it over, but the offense felt rhythmic, it felt good. You can see why this is a 33 Tours side that hasn't lost yet this tournament.
So, I mean, I guess that gives them the advantage here. They've come through undefeated. But Friselis, the French national championships on the sand. So this promises to be a slam buckling affair here. I don't know how you slice them. I don't know where you give advantage, but it doesn't really matter what we say or where we put advantage. They're already swinging blow for blow right now. It's now back in Friselis' court to respond.
Yeah, Friselis not been perfect on the weekend. Dropped a game in the pool stage, as opposed to 33 Tours, who are undefeated throughout. 33 Tours beat Guayota, Chronicle Dizziness, Disc Kickball, and Stout of Bounds. Whereas for Friselis, they lost to Polbo, but victories over Mighty Hucks, TD's Odin, and it was In the pre-quarterfinals, Disco Bolo that 33 tours dispatched 13-5 and 13-9 win for Friselis over the Loon squad. Oh, just about squish that in.
Lièvre comes under to get the pass from Guilou. And now Benviguen continuing on. There's Prior Martin, one of my favorite players on the French sand here, to Guilou. Guilou surveys options and gets an open Lièvre coming under. Lièvre sends it right back to Gilou, a general of the offense here for Friselis. He sends to Prior Martin, and a mistake from Fefe.
That's the drop, and there's no other way to cut it, really. Yes, it's a bit of a heater, but one that he should be catching every time, and I'm sure that he knows that.
Oh, he knows full well that he should have had that one. I'm sure he's already lining up to make up for that. And there is a man down on the field grabbing at his ankle.
Yeah, just completely uncontacted as he came through to try and provide an outlet there. Carayol went to the turf, and I wonder if he just got it caught in the sand and tweaked it a little bit, or he felt something in the plantar fascia maybe. Either way, he's coming off and Kayla's coming on to provide an offensive option. Kayla, a very decorated player. I mean, just last season he was a European champion in the mixed masters division with EBUCC.
Yeah, he has been doing it for a long time. Maybe you could imagine he's lost a step or two, but anything he's lost in speed, he's surely gained in experience and throwing ability. Prior Martin able to knock back and make up for his prior error. And Lièvre comes under and gets a touch. Now back to Prior Martin. Wide open on the other side. He swings to Mikote. Prior Martin gets the bailout by Guilou. Not sure if that was the intended receiver or not, but doesn't matter. The completion counts. Mikote comes to center. Now Benviguen centered to Prior Martin. Guilou with the disc. Had a look, but turns his vision back to center. He goes wide, far side. It's Lièvre, leading pass to Prior Martin. And another goal on the board. And we maintain a match on serve despite our first sights of turnovers.
Yeah, Prior Martin, yes, he made a bad drop, but have you heard the phrase that the best players have short memories? Because sometimes you can say, okay, that was bad. What good is dwelling over it going to do? Not really. It wasn't a mechanics issue. It was just I dropped it and move on. And then he helps to get the turn defensively, and then continues to work hard on the offense. This swing goes to Lièvre, and he burns up line, catching for the score. Prior Martin.
I know that man well enough that his short memory is indeed intact. Those mistakes count for nothing for him. He goes out and he knows he's got a job to do. He will shovel the coal all day long and if he chips the shovel, he'll just keep going.
The sort of thing that as a coach, the player that you like to have on your side, because you know that whatever happens, they're going to put 100% effort in.
That's absolutely it. His counterpart on the other side, as far as players I've had the pleasure of coaching on the field now, Simon Ruel. They're different styles of players, but both magnificent athletes, both able to put it in, and both players I would be happy to put full faith in the big moments that they're in right now. Bordeaux, Tour 33, disc far sideline in the hands of Salat. He gets one up line, and it gets smacked away by the 99 shirt of Tardy before Ruel has any chance to make a reception.
He got a hand on it at the end, but I don't think he needed to. This throw from Salah always looked like it had the wrong edge to me. But he did get a touch on it, so he's going to... or maybe it must have already contacted somewhere out of bounds, because they're getting it from about halfway.
So Bordeaux O-line forced to play their first bit of defense and prevent the break here. Of course, Friselis' other ideas. Tardy spins 2 or 3 times and does get it forward. Now the reset goes to Le Pommelet. Oh, and a huge D by Simon Ruel makes himself aerial, and that is exactly what he's known to do.
Just how you coached him, Steph.
I'm not sure I can take full credit for that, but I'm definitely familiar with the talents. And another turn, though, one throw later. Le Pommelet with a very short field. Looking end zone, and then to the retreat. He goes wide and around. Well caught there to keep it up. Le Petito sends it in, and that's a break for Friselis. It's Julien Marie with the goal, and Friselis break first.
I'm sure that we've seen Petito straight stuff recently in the mixed division out for Seskidistas of Strasbourg at the Elite Invite, playing in the open division here with Friselis. And this was smooth end zone offense. There's the catch block from Ruel that feels cruel in the end that they could do nothing with it. Nice high grab made there. Getting the force backpedaling a little bit, seeing if they can find a way in the end zone, and because the force is off, it's a relatively comfortable throw into the front of the zone for the score.
Pretty fresh looking line out there for Bordeaux, as happens a bit more frequently in the beach circuit where they don't necessarily hold as strict O&D lines. This team just rolling lines here, and it's a fresh 5 out. It was just long enough of a point that no matter what, those 5 are going to be better off for having a breather.
You're getting a well-earned rest. And the pool fielded from the floor by the men in white, or blanc, I guess.
Indeed, to the 29 shirt. And now to the far sideline. That's BULA Noir. Now Calmel. Goes back. Urel. And Urel again. And we do see a zone as Bonnet busts through it. That's another player to watch there. 34 with the disc. Sekeli. And that one's in for gold. BULA Noir. And the response, Benji, is better than their last outing.
Just a bit. Again, unfazed by whatever the Friselis defense had to throw at them. Just playing like it was, well, a day at the beach, really. Not faced by the pressure at all. And when they needed to, Sekeli just putting a little bit of air underneath it.
Here's another look at the scoring portion of the play. There you see Sekeli. And the throw just within the boundaries to knot things up at 3. Knotted up at 3, but still a break ahead. Is that right, Benji?
It is indeed.
For Friselis, who started playing defense in this game. Here come Friselis from their own end zone. Lièvre gets Guilou. Middle of the field in his own end. Stays centered with Lièvre.
Interesting to see both sides going with zonal defenses here, given it's not massively windy, although they have now transitioned into going one-on-one.
I don't mind a quick 3-throw transition on the beach. Prevent the huck. Lièvre has gone deep. The 20 shirt runs under the trailer, and has he done that? He's got up in extreme celebration, but we did see the tape flicker there, which could indicate a touch. They may want to have another look.
There is the replay monitor available if they wish to take a peek.
We have one of the players coming to have a look. Here comes the replay. Here it is. You see the intended receiver, Mikote, go up early over his head. There's Prior Martin. Oh, but it was not Prior Martin. We didn't finish the play there. We'll have another look. It was not Prior Martin who kicked the tape. It was Mikote. So the tape moves first. And, oh, geez, that I do believe it was in. Good spirit by Bordeaux. That was a tough one to tell. Line calls always more difficult on the beach with the tape and the ability to go under a line.
Yeah, it's also tricky as well because that tape was dragged that, yes, you might look at the tape and think, well, I'm in, but if the tape's been taken a few meters away by your teammate, then actually it's not where the boundary of the field should be. Exactly. But in the end, after the discussion, goal stands and Prion Martin has really saved Lulier's bacon there.
Yeah, that one, as you say, as the tape gets extended, it's still like on its way springing back to its regular form. And so it is definitely a skewed and warped field of play. Le Pommelé with the pull. And Bordeaux, Ruel gets the gainer. That's to Le Pommelé. Now that one's floating up. Oh, and he read the defender and not the disc. And that one gets away. That was Salat, got caught up in the defense there.
Yeah, I thought what he was going for is like, really? I thought it's going more right than that. And you're right, maybe he did just get sucked in by the defender there. Showing that as a defender, you don't always necessarily need to get the disc as long as your opponent doesn't.
Le Pommelé with the cone kick, Hannah Pendlebury's favorite, with extreme sarcasm. And if Simon Ruel is in the area of that, you know he's coming away with the D as he did. Ruel centers. Kayla has gone deep. The 11 shirt running under. That is Bonnet, but he can't get there. And he whips his hat away as if that was the problem.
I feel like that was a wildly optimistic leap there from Elliot Bonnet, even though he's capable of kind of such majesty at times. But I think what he sees there is that he's the meat in that Friselis sandwich, and it's like, well, the only chance I'm possibly going to have of getting it is by going up now, even if I can't get there.
Get up early or get up never when you're the meat in that sandwich bench. Here come Friselis. Gets the high release to count, and now it's Tardy at the midfield mark of the field. Ooh, that one just barely handled into the hands of Marie. Marie zips one, but through the hands of Petitot, and Bordeaux being encouraged to calm things down by Kayla right now.
Odds on Kayla just banging it here anyway.
That is the pure veteran move.
It's the classic calm it, yeet. Oh, he's going to be sensible with it.
Wow, good on him. Bonnet now with the disc. Underneath. To Kayla. Around to Moirier. And now Ruel. Ruel feeds Bonnet, and quick, great leading throw to Kayla. He isolates and then looks back. He gets Bonnet. Breaks away up the line. And Bordeaux level the score at 4 in a cracking start of this match.
It wasn't the cleanest of holds, and if you're Friselis, maybe you can see that as a win because you turned your opponents twice, but you'd be frustrated that you gave kind of 2 sloppy turnovers away at the first. The shot down the sideline, always a low percentage option, and then one zinged through the hands there of Petitot. And on the third time of asking, Tour were not going to make the mistake.
So all knotted up here, 4 apiece. Couldn't slice this one any finer thus far. Still a break in hand for Friselis. and something Bordeaux will have to find at some stage in this game, but there's no urgency thus far. Friselis, who get the gainer to Lièvre. No, they don't. He hits the deck.
Yeah, I think that throw is just too low for him.
Carayol, this could be the chance to put things back on serve. But a high stall count towards that far sideline now as there's a stoppage.
Looked like very physical defense there up against Mathieu Carayol. Can't quite see who the player is who's tasked with defending him. I think it might be Thomas Lelièvre. How am I doing with the French pronunciations, by the way, Steph?
Hey, you're getting there. It sounds pretty good to me, Benji. Very convinced.
Merci beaucoup.
It's about as good as I go with the Czech pronunciations. Just kidding. Much better, Benji.
I mean, no comment.
That one zipped and intercepted. The caught knock away there. And now Guilou goes deep. 2 defenders there. And it's not going to have enough on it to get it to any piece of flesh.
I just want more polish, I think, really from both sides, but especially because this is a Friselis O-line, you think they'd be ready for that sort of thing, but it just felt like a rush decision. Twice they've turned over on sketchy, speculative sideline shots. And there's some alliteration for you.
Even with the shots, you're still using your consonant blends to continue the alliteration, Benjamin.
A sneaky sound of sibilance in there.
And here comes Bordeaux, 33 tours. Far sideline, Carayol. We saw his other half playing this morning on the stream, the other Carayol in the women's division for Bordeaux. And
What?
there he is, making a nice layout grab, coming off of the earth. Dumps back to Jurel.
Travel?
That is the indication.
What's French for travel?
I don't know, travel.
La travel.
Marcher, peut-être.
Thanks to our French commentary team.
Inside break. That one popped up into
Oh!
traffic. He's going to call the foul, but he should be calling the foul on the poor option of throw.
Yeah, it is an accepted strip, I think it is, so the goal stands. Yikes, that was ugly, with all due respect to Calmel. Lucky for him that Carayol stuck the catch to make it 5-4 in Bordeaux's favour. Oh my word, a maelstrom in the end zone there.
I mean, that was just absolutely a horrible decision. I mean, maybe the decision was okay, but that should have been like a pushy or a shovel pass, something quick. But to pop that into that kind of traffic coming both directions, I mean, job well done to Carayol.
I'll tell you what.
I don't know if that's a strip. It's knocked away. It's batted. It's not stripped out of the hands.
Look, I'm just happy that everyone emerged with all their limbs.
Yeah, and they agreed pretty quickly, so who am I to say I don't know
exactly.
if that's a strip?
What we think doesn't matter. It's all about the players coming to a resolution that they're happy with, and they all seem pretty happy with that one. Although maybe less happy, as you mentioned, about the choice of throw from Calmel.
Yeah, there are people owed drinks for that one.
What's the? I was going to say, it's Bordeaux, probably a nice glass of red, right?
Yeah, that would that'd be the drink of choice, I'd imagine. Well, here come the other way, Leonard. Starts things off, Scala. He goes wide around Leroutier. Goes to Leonard. Leonard with the lefty right into the defense. Good takeaway by Le Cardonnel. And shot straight away. He gets it on both ends. Double happiness. Le Cardonnel.
And all of a sudden, looks like François Tour have kicked into another gear. Le Cardonnel going coast to coast for the break and the double happiness. 6-4.
3 on the bounce. 6-4, 2-point lead, and Friselis are going to need to put a top line on here to walk one in. I was going to say on the last asking, their O-line was a very different line than we saw start this game. So they weren't just mixing up the lines, but maybe putting on a secondary O-line or a tertiary overall line, which maybe not the moment of the game after a hold break against them already.
Yeah, I think at that point you want to say, get the first choice out there, and if it's not your starting O-line, maybe you've got a swing line that you go to in those sorts of situations, like you cross over some players from defense and keep your stars out there. Wasn't to be, though.
Guilou goes to Prior-Martin. He gets the underthrow to count, and that's Micote. Now they're back with their starting O-line. Lièvre to Guilou. Ooh, and Guilou throws away. That's his second throwing error of this game.
I mean, these are fundamentals that have escaped Friselis. I'm going to call out, who is that? Martin Tardy for walking in front of the camera as the disc turns back to Friselis.
Guilou a second chance here, and he goes high again. Benvegen can't get up for that one, but the throw, clearly too much air under it.
I think, wait, do you wonder if that's a little bit of overcorrection? He sold the first one short, so he made them adjustment, and he overthrew the second one. It's the overcorrection. And we changed to a white disc. When did that happen?
That is an interesting choice. Maybe it must have been a player-made choice. Calmel pops it forward. Carayol now with the disc. Whips one forward. I thought it was in, but not quite. Now the dump. Carayol. And they are just throwing it between them. Those two are Hurel. Waits. Now they shoot for goal. And that one's into the 33 shirt. Katrika Meno. There's a call on the field, Benji.
Yeah, I did hear early in the possession from the French commentators when they thought it was in the end line. I heard in my limited French, oui, mais non. Yes, but no. And that was almost a little bit of a repetition there, is that it counts except when it doesn't.
Friselis desperate now to keep this one out. Carayol, and they do not keep it out because 33 Tours put it in. Mehdi Boulanoir with that goal. It is 4 on the bounce, Benji.
And that's half.
Halftime taken. 33 Tours putting their foot down, showing why they were undefeated through pool play over the course of yesterday and today. We're going to take a quick break for halftime, and we'll be back very soon with second half action.
For the first time ever, from the golden sandy blankets of Portimao, Portugal, BULA and ULTI.TV bring you the World Beach Ultimate Club Championship 2024. The best club teams in the world will converge on the Portuguese Algarve. With expectations for upwards of 150 teams, this promises to be a tournament worth bucket listing. Whether on the sands or watching the action from your screen, WBUCC 2024 is a tournament not to be missed.
Back in play. Second half action, and Friselis at least get the one benefit of receiving this half. Lièvre, which they would have anyways because 33 Tours are pouring on the goals. Benvegen gets it to this near sideline, Micote, and then to Guilou. Guilou finds Benvegen. Benvegen gets Prior-Martin. He shoots. That's in for goal. It's Lièvre who cashes it in. And a very important hold there for Friselis to keep legitimate hope in this one.
Yeah, finally stopped that 4-point scoring run for Tour, the Bordeaux side. And Lièvre catching his second goal to go along with 2 assists. I tell you what, it's a good job for Félix Prior-Martin that Lièvre's a big man, because if he wasn't, this could have been dicey. But I guess maybe you say this is a choice of knowing your receiver there, putting a little bit high, because it makes sure he's got that long wingspan and he can get up there and pluck it high in front of the defender.
Those two both playing together on the French Open team. They'll be doing that next week at Windmill on the grass. Adversaries otherwise in the French scene last year, that was an Isno-Chak matchup. And this year a Tsunami-Chak matchup. So representing a whole bunch of clubs, those two, just between those two. Bonnet goes to Ruel. To Bonnet again. And now to the number 2 shirt. Moved back to Bonnet.
Oh!
And that was just a thing of beauty. He can give his hand a blow, cool it down, because that was a hot-handed, beautiful throw to Ruel.
A Michelin star throw from Bonnet. The offhand just floats that into the end zone, and it just floats beautifully down the Champs-Élysées into the end zone for the scorer, with a little bit of showboating from Ruel to boot as well. Look at it again on the replay. I mean,
I can't wait to see this.
This is a pièce de résistance, isn't it?
Ruel gives and goes. Oh, yeah, look at that beautiful offhand back. I mean, I don't go as far as showboating. He didn't have arms out as airplane, but just a little certainty and
a bit of accentuation there. About it, perhaps.
Accentuation. I would be, if as a coach showboating something, I would give a tongue lashing for on the sideline, something like that. I think I'd be happy enough. That's just playing with clear confidence there.
I don't know, Steph. I've heard rumors about Windmill next year that you might be doing a bit of showboating.
There's some truth for that, but we'll keep those rumors under lid for the moment. Lièvre goes to Benvegen. Now Prior-Martin and the regular Friselis O-line. Now that shot deep, but I'm not sure. Benvegen's got the Jets, and I am wrong, because he caught up, two-handed, flopped himself, and plunged into the sand.
That is full commitment there from Paul Benvenien, because he really had to go, and I thought for a long time that he was not favourite to get that, but the towering figure of Mehdi Boulanois was going to get there instead, but how wrong I was. Here's it again on the replay. Michotet, evidently all the faith in the world in his receiver, and right to do so.
Back to within 2. Advantage retained for Bordeaux, of course, but Friselis stopped the run and are trading again. And they're going to need a run of their own at some stage here, or it's going to be a Bordeaux game.
Would you like to know what's going on in the other Open quarterfinals?
Oh, you bet I would.
Well, I can tell you what's going on in the other Open quarterfinals, if I just remember which games are the quarterfinals and which games aren't. How about Solaris versus Sharks?
Sounds good, but let's get through this point. Bonnet comes under, and we can't wait to hear all this action. Moirier having a look upfield, goes to the dump. That's Kela. Gets Moirier. And that is the 65 shirt of Salat coming under to Ruel. Ruel has all sorts of traffic crossing in front of him. And then looks to go wide around. There's a big mark by Scala, and he is so stoked. Gets the high five running back with a hand block on the young Ruel.
Might be a little bit jazzed about that one. Just making himself a monster on the mark, and he senses the high release coming, and he dismissively slaps it away.
Now it's Leonard. Leonard goes to Scala. Scala pops one over top to Leonard.
Pick.
Leonard back to Scala, and there's a pick amidst the stack.
Felt like that was a while ago. Players agree.
Leonard makes Scala dive, but he doesn't mind.
He might mind a bit.
Not at this moment, he doesn't. That one continued on again. The 33 shirt hangs on, that's Catoni. And now Leonard goes around to Catoni, but it's knocked down because it's too high. Moirier, and now they're on the run. Bonnet to Kela. And very quick to go the other way are 33 Tours back in the hands of Ruel. He goes wide and around, but the help defense comes and takes it away from the off angle.
Yeah, Ruel, you could see what he wanted, and I think that maybe the receiver there said the quiet part out loud, Antoine Salat, and the defender was right there waiting for it. I think it's the 33 shirt, Thomas Catonnet, making amends for that turnover.
There he is again. Catoni. Sorry, this is the 42 shirt now for Friselis. Coming under. And the continuation to Leonard. Oh, and a hand block there by Salat. This point is going back and forth, Benji.
We might change that disc again because I think it is covered in hand block at the moment. Second of the point. And
timeout called on the field. We're going to take a short break, catch our breaths. We'll let you do the same, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
Back in action, and before we do, Benji, before this play starts, tell us about those other quarters.
Well, we've got an all-French quarterfinal, and we might have an all-French semi-final as well, because the winner of this plays the winner of Magic Disc from Angers and Quixotes from Madrid. And at the moment, Magic Disc have an 8-6 lead in the bottom half. We've got an all-Spanish semi-final, Guayota up 9-7 on Polvo, and an all-Spanish semi-final might not happen because Solaris with a 9-6 lead over Sharks.
The Polish might ruin that party, the all-Spanish semi, and we have lots to unfold throughout the bracket, and most certainly right here on Arena 1.
We spoke about the diversity of the quarterfinalists in the mixed division coming from 7 different countries. Only 3 represented in the Open, 4 Spaniards, 3 French outfits, and the Poles.
Bonnet with a great break, but Scala jumping out of the sand and playing well beyond his years.
How many years are those?
Wow, there's a fair few. That is a chiseled veteran, a master.
Only just, the casual 28-year vet.
28 years playing experience, not so bad.
Yeah, where's the number 23 after his ultimate hero? A Brit, Beck's 4th.
Bonnet takes it away.
This game is ridiculous, Steph.
We are getting a bit of everything. Moirier comes under. And now Salat goes back to Kela. The number 2 shirt of Moirier. Bonnet again. He shoots because he's a shooter, but the D comes and another takeaway.
This is how this game has been going at the moment. I think I kind of expected that, but there's a player down on the floor.
That is Salat on the ground, slow to get up. Here it is. And it's no wonder he had the full force of the defensive layout land upon him.
Yeah, BULA is the player who bid there.
Scala puts his hand up first to take the break on the reciprocating injury sub.
I think he's earned it.
Yeah, he's earned it. And Guilou comes in to marshal the offense. Nope, he's been called off. It's Ben Vignen who comes in to take his place.
I think the turnover's going to stand. Just a hefty landing, nothing else untoward. You called for a banger quarterfinal, Stef. Does this qualify?
Oh, we're getting a banger. A Frisleys goal here makes it even more banging, that's for sure.
Plenty of bang for your metaphorical or literal buck here on ULTI.TV.
Make it literal and become a patron.
Right?
Ben Vignen wides up. Even with the diving mark defense, it's hanging. We've got 4 under it. Bono, the biggest leap, but it evades every hand in the area.
Foul called.
Foul called. Tough foul to make in a pack grab. Everyone's going to feel a bit of contact there. Does anyone have the right to that space? Bonnet did go through a bit more than everybody else, but Bonnet was the only one who got a legitimate hand to the disc.
So there's definitely contact there from Bonnet on the back of Leroutier, but did that contact affect it?
I don't think so. I think Bonnet was that far above everybody that even if he didn't get there, the Friselis player would not have got up. It's a turnover is called. They've agreed on the field.
Felt about right. Yeah, and if you're not sure, I think that's the right thing to do, especially when there's a turnover like that. You can call the foul, have the discussion, and then if need be, retract it.
Kayla sends to Bonnet. Bonnet de Moirier and Ruel. Ruel, quick continuation to the 13th shirt of Julien Gabriel. Kayla to Ruel. Oh, and the defense closed his option, and he wisely turned back to center.
I'd have thrown it.
Kayla. Is that to say that my assessment of wise was wrong, or that you're not a wise player, Benji?
Maybe a bit of both. Porque no los dos? Or whatever that is in French.
Yeah, pourquoi pas les deux?
Oui, oui.
And currently in the hands of Julien Gabriel.
Yeah, BULA caught the pick early there, and it is going to go back.
Gabriel, the coach of Révolutionnaire women's team, which was once a post I occupied. Quick to Ruel, and I love that throw. A bit of a face mark from the defender, and he just goes right over top, and that is veteran savvy.
Not the first time we've seen that from Kayla, utilizing that inside-out shape well when he sees the face mark, because he can put it out into space, where by the time the defender sees it, it's already too late. And as well, the fact that as soon as it was checked in, he threw it, was no hanging about there. A real veteran savvy on that one from Cyril Kayla. By the way, 8 turnovers on that last point, ranging from the sublime to the ridiculous. This game has been so much fun, Stef. And I think we might have had the cap go on during that point, so potentially game to 10?
Wow, it feels like there should be more left in this game. I can't believe it might already be over, but game to 10 is what is being indicated.
The man is well past covered in mud.
A potential game winner here if Friselis can't extend. Guilou to Prion-Martin. Now the under Micote. He's gone deep to Ben Vignen. And Ben Vignen cannot get there. And this could be the game.
High degree of difficulty on that shot because he's running directly away from him, so he has to keep that edge on it. And the throw had the right sort of shape in it, but it just couldn't get the sit that it needed.
Carayol sends to the 28 shirt. Continuation. Oh, and he almost fell down. Got back to his feet, did Sekeli just in time. Now move forward once again. They're nearing the midfield. Calmels dumps back to Hurel. Carayol takes the under. Hurel, it's hanging. Could this be the game? Bordeaux, 33 tours, see themselves through to the semifinal with a victory here. But I see Friselis still walking back to the line. Is it possible that that was not communicated properly?
Yeah, either they know something we don't, or the timer must have gone just, and I mean just after the previous point.
Well, if they don't know something that we do, then this is now a game to 11.
I'm down.
And everybody seems to be in agreement with that assessment. So that is what it is. Here comes the pull. Bordeaux sending out a fresh line of troops.
Surely that break there makes this too much for Friselis, right?
You would imagine Benvignen gets the under to Micote. Scala, but it's gone deep to Prior Martin. We could have seen a bit more of that throughout the game, but they start with it now. Utilizing his speed, they cash in the 7th goal. So now a game to 11 and a first break point opportunity for Bordeaux.
Yeah, Friselis have only got the one break all game. To reel off 4 in a row now feels like a massive ask. But that's a beautiful throw. Pivoting out, getting the row release and just sitting it up there for Prior Martin to chase for the score. Women's semi-final action up next, by the way. A bit of a Scandinavian flavour on the beaches. E6 from Sweden up against the Copenhagen Hucks of Denmark.
Copenhagen, Stockholm, two of the major hubs in Scandinavia. That one promises to be a cracker. We've seen both of them in action on our stream over the course of this weekend. And we're excited to see how that one shakes out as well. Of course, E6 defending champs of this tournament. But game left to play here. Bordeaux pick up. Kayla centers to Mourier. Bonnet comes under. Bonnet spins and goes to Kayla. Now the under comes from the 65 shirt of Salat. Straight back to Mourier. And around to Bonnet. Ruel comes under for a touch. And Kayla, it's too far outside for him. And he can't handle it as such.
Time for the break train to start rolling, Steph.
Well, if there's ever a time, it's now, Benji. Le Pomolet. Goes to Scala. Scala. Oh, late stall count, but he does get one away. That's to Caligaro. And back to Scala. Oh, Scala returns to Petito and now jammed into the far sideline. Sent for goal. And what a bid there, Benji, to take that away.
At this point, I just expect it from this game. Nothing surprises me anymore from these lads out there.
We are getting it all. Antoine Salat gives it that time. A beautiful takeaway D in the end zone when one more pass would have been a score.
And he's got a face full of sand as a reward. I say reward.
Those are the odd rewards you wear with pride, at least for the moments that follow. Ruel comes under. And then to Morier. Widen around to Kayla. And now two options come under. There's a wide open, but Scala breaks it up and goes down hard.
Scala's had a phenomenal game defensively.
He'll be coming out right now for a substitution, most definitely. That counts as his third block. Is that right, Benji?
Let me double check. I believe it would be, yes. Bear in mind that this is a guy, Scala, who's played for Friselis pretty much his entire ultimate career after he graduated from Toulouse Université. And that's a 28-year career. He's a tea taster.
That sounds awesome.
I mean, I'm not, sacrilegiously for a Brit, I'm not a tea drinker. But
I'm not a tea drinker either, but if it was my job, I mean, it'd be a pretty fun job. Any consumption-based job, if it's your job
How
to
bad
eat
can
or
it be?
drink something,
Yeah.
like, I mean, the only thing I would not be excited about is like a banana taster, because that's my...
is that your food?
Yeah, that's the thing that I just can't do. Anyway, back to the action. Frizzlies to Le Pommelé. Le Pommelé surveying options, goes big with the OI, but it's too far for Petitot.
Yeah, I think Petitot knew that the disc was always tailing towards this sideline, but he just couldn't get there. Again, a decent idea, fading it over the defense, but too much edge.
So another chance to close out the game for Bordeaux. Right now, they've had 3 kicks at this can, and while this will be their 3rd kick at the can to knock it over, they're getting their chances. Bonnet. Kayla. High stall count now. Kayla goes to Ruel. Ruel gets the under to count to Salat. Now deep is Bonnet. He's out in front, and he's not going to get out jumped as that man. That one counts. They are moving on to the semifinals. 33 Tours have won the All-French quarter and are going to the semi from here, Benji.
I think the final score, 11-7, belies how close, fun, and intense the game was.
Yeah, indeed it was. As per normal, these games are scheduled very tightly, and as much as we could talk on and on about the excitement there, we've got to get ourselves out so we can get ourselves back in. We've got the women's quarter semi coming up next, as mentioned. So we're going to get out of here. Thank you from ULTI.TV. I've been Stefan Pazzo here with Benji Reese, and thank you for watching. We'll be back soon for more action.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, ultimate.
ULTI.TV.
We could